Thank you everyone for joining our online Malbec wine event to celebrate Malbec World Day, which is this Saturday. My name is Terry. I work in the member participation team at the Co-op. I'm joined by Claire from my team tonight, who's going to be supporting in the Zoom chat. So if you have any problems doing anything, hopefully Claire will be able to help you. We've also got Sarah Benson, who's one of our Co-op wine buyers. And then we also have Sergio Case from Trapiche Winery in Argentina, and Alejandro Pepa from El Esteco Winery, also in Argentina. We'll be talking us through their incredible wines very shortly. So for the running order for tonight then, I'm going to hand to Sarah shortly, who's going to give you just a couple of minutes about World Malbec Day, and she's also going to be introducing Sergio first. Who's going to be talking about the pure Malbec. Then it's over to Alejandro to talk about the Don David Malbec. And then we're going to do the second half of the event will be the Q&A, where you've got the chance to ask all of your questions to the people behind the bottles. We're going to be finishing with the prize draw just before 8 o'clock. So the prize draw is 8 magnums of the Don David Malbec. So 8 of you on the call will be winning a magnum each, which will get posted out to you, but we'll pick up that later. And then, yeah, so we should be finishing for about 8 o'clock. When we get to the Q&A, you can post your questions in the chat and I will read them out for you. Or if you want to raise your hand, you can click on participants on your screen and then there's a raise hand option. And if you do that, I can invite you to unmute and then you can ask your question in person. We won't be doing the raising hand and asking questions until the second half of the event as part of the Q&A, so you don't need to do that until then. So, also to say as well, we are recording the event for people who can't make it. We can send them the link to it afterwards as well. So, I'm going to invite Sarah to come and speak now, and I'm going to be quiet. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Terry. Hi, everybody. It's great to see some of you back from the Rioja event we had last month. Thank you very much for joining us. As Terry mentioned, it's World Malbec Day this Saturday. Malbec at the moment is very exciting for us. It's the fastest growing variety in the UK. It's even overtaken Sauvignon Blanc, which I thought would never happen. And one of the things that people perhaps don't realise about Malbec is it has a fantastic history. So Malbec Day is celebrated the 17th of April to commemorate the first day that they had a wine school in Argentina in 1853. So Malbec's a grape that originally came from Bordeaux. It was one of the major varieties at the time that's used in Bordeaux wines. And in its history, it's been used for royal weddings here in the UK. And it's been used by Russian tsars to treat some stomach ulcers as well, which I'm not by any stretch of the imagination suggesting you should pursue, but it has such a history, but it's not the new grape that people think it is. So I'm very excited this evening to show 2 different expressions of the grape from different parts of Argentina. And Terry, if you just put the map up, I can just explain that a little bit. One of the things that's really special about Argentina that makes it able to have this great fruit ripeness, but also freshness as well, is that it has such altitudes to play with. The 2 wines which we're going to introduce to you this evening, so the pure Malbec comes from Mendoza, so you can just see just there in the middle of Argentina. And it's the altitude of Mendoza, the average vineyard is about 900 meters above sea level. So to put that into perspective, Ben Nevis is 1,300 meters. So you can imagine trying to grow some vines most of the way up Ben Nevis. And then we're going to go further north, so right up to the north to Salta in the top left of the map, to our wine Don David from El Esteco Winery. So there, the vineyards can be up to 3,000 meters. So that's 2 and a bit Ben Nevises, growing vines that have a much more structured style, a little bit firmer, more savoury. And I think it's quite interesting. If you've got both of them, fantastic, but you might want to try one this evening and then perhaps go back to another, and you can really see the different expressions that Malbec can create. And to give you just one final sense of the distance in between these 2 areas we're talking about. So between Mendoza and Salta, you're talking about 1,000 kilometers, so 650 miles difference. So it's a vast country with all these different terrains, and hopefully I'm going to leave it to the winemakers to talk about the different areas they work in. And I'm very grateful because they're in the middle of harvest right now, that they've taken a little bit of a break to come and talk to you about these wines. So first of all, over to Sergio, who's going to talk about the pure Malbec. Thank you, Sergio.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah, and thank you for coming on this special World Day. It's unusual, special Malbec World Day. It's by internet. It's not normal for us. Well, my name is Sergio Casé. I am winemaker. I'm in charge of all the high quality wines of the Trapiche winery. I have been working here since 1999, more than 20 years. It's a lot of time. It's all it's part of my life here in Trapiche. Well, we can continue with the presentation. In the next, I would like to show you the part of our vineyards. You can see the vineyards near to the Andes mountain. And here is very interesting for us, or why in Argentina we have the very unique Malbec, because I would like to the secret of the Andes. No? One of the most important secret is the continental desert climate. This big mountain is like the big wall that stops all the humidity from the Pacific Ocean. The other side of the mountain is Chile. In this place there are a lot of humidity and more rain that we compare with the east part of the mountain. Here in this place, Mendoza, other secret is the altitude of the vineyard. We have different altitude between 900 meters above sea level up to 1,400 meters above sea level. In all this geography, we have the different vineyard. Of course, we have a very nice thermal amplitude. This thermal amplitude is the difference between the maximum temperature of the minimum temperature per day, and this thermal amplitude gives us a better condition in terms of the aroma, in terms of the color, in terms of the concentration of the grapes, for make this beautiful wine that we can taste, or we can show you in few minutes. Other secret here in Mendoza is the different type of soil that we have. Normally, in this case, the Trapiche Pure, the grapes are coming from the Uco Valley. The Uco Valley is more pure soil and has between 1,200 meters above sea level. But when we going down of the valley, normally we have the different soil, has more clay soil. Well, we have the different characteristic of soil, plus the altitude, plus the amplitude, thermal amplitude, give us very different conditions for growing the grapes. And of course, all this is perfect when we have water. No, the water here we irrigate it with pure water, but because the water are coming from the snow melt river mountain, and we each plant receive this water, because normally the rainfall here in Argentina is very lower. Normally here in Mendoza we receive normally 200 to 20 millimeters per year. You know that each bunch or each plant needs around 500 or 600 millimeters a year. For this reason, we need to add the water. We need to irrigate the grapes. Well, the next one, you can. I would like to show you the different picture of the different part of our vineyard. You can see this beautiful place that we produce this fantastic grapes for, in this case, for the Trapiche Pure Malbec. We can see the other picture, in this case, is in the Los Árboles region. The Los Árboles is a small village in the middle of the Uco Valley. It's located at 250 meters above sea level, and there are this is the reservoir, or how to say, the big tank for water for irrigation. And well, in this case, in this place, we produce the Malbec for Trapiche for pure, no? Well, in the next one, now is directly we would like to speak about the wines. Here, the grapes, when we received the grapes in the winery, of course, all the grapes was picked by hand. And when received the grapes in the winery, we make the cluster selection, and immediately we produce the stemming and crushing, and then this all the grapes going into the different tank or concrete vat for start the alcoholic fermentation. For us, in this range, it's very important to the management of the fermentation, the temperature of fermentation. Here, I like to ferment it between 25, 26 degrees, because in this range, gives us very, very good expression of the Malbec. The typicity of the Malbec for us is very, you can smell a lot of red fruit, like the plum, for example, or like the cherry. The total time for the fermentation is, in this case, is around 15, 16 days. And immediately, when I taste every day each concrete tank, each concrete vat, I decide the moment for the separate the wine of the skin. Okay, remember that for make the wine, the red wine, we need to put all the skin together with the seed and the juice for the fermentation and maceration. No? After this time, I decide to separate the wine of the solid, and the wine going immediately into the concrete vat for start to aging. This aging process is surli. We call surli is when you have a lot of time, the wine in contact with the surli or the fine list for very texture, a very velvety tannin. This is the most beautiful characteristic of this Malbec pure. You can feel very nice red fruit, okay, and when you put the wines into the mouth, you can feel rich acidity and very, very velvety tannin. This is the beautiful wine. This is the most important characteristic of the Malbec, because it's a fantastic wine for every day. It's very, very easy to drink. Well, this is my short presentation. Sorry for my English. It's not very, very fantastic, but well, I enjoy. I hope that you enjoy the pure Malbec like I enjoy when I make it. Cheers.
Gracias, Sergio. Thank you. So I think we're going to, I know there's a few questions, but I think they're probably
yes.
questions for both of you. So perhaps if you don't mind, Sergio, we'll listen to Alejandro first and then do the questions after.
Okay.
Yeah. So Alejandro, are you ready to talk about Don David?
Hola a todos, buenas tardes.
In English, Pepa, in English.
In Spanish, no? Okay. Congratulations, Sergio. I love pure Malbec. It's wonderful, fruity wines. It's very, very nice wines. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Ale Pepa, Chief Winemaker of El Esteco. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Terry, for this invitation. It's very important for us. speak about our wines, speak a little about our terroir. We are very far in that moment, Argentina to UK and Cafayate to UK more far. I'm working here in El Esteco Winery since 2000. Yes, since 2000. In the year 2000, I moved to Cafayate. Are you listening well? Sorry.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, okay. I moved to Cafayate, 1,000 kilometers to north of Mendoza. I am from Mendoza, but I moved here with my family and I incorporated to the Esteco team. Since then, every year I'm looking to produce and to look in a very intensive character in our wines. With a big, our idea is show the characteristic of this special terroir. El Esteco was founded in 1892 by these people, Don David Michel. This the name of the wine came from our founder. Is in his honor. Mr. Don David founded in 1892 this winery, and this winery is located in the very beautiful valley in the heart of the Calchaquí Valley. And here in the Calchaquí Valley, we have two different wineries, two facilities. One here in this place called Cafayate. Cafayate is a very little city. It's located in the Salta province. And the level of the altitude here in Cafayate is 1,700 meters above sea level. It's a very little city, no more than the 18,000 people live here. And we have another facility, another winery in the same valley, in the same Calchaquí Valley, called the place called Chañar Punco. This is another province, it's Catamarca province, but it's the same valley. This place is a very little, more than Cafayate. In Chañar Punco live less than the 800 people. It's very insulated place, very little, it's a town, yes. For me, this is one of the most beautiful places in Argentina to produce vineyard, to produce grapes and wines. Okay, before the tasting, my idea is to speak a little or give a little introduction about the terroir. In this picture, we see some part of the mountain. This valley is near, this mountain, it isn't the Andes mountain. It's near to the Andes mountain in the northwest part of Argentina, but it isn't the Andes. This mountain in the picture called Quilmes Mountain. The valley is formed by Quilmes Mountain and Aconquija Mountain. This is we say that it is an exclusive valley because it's very little. We produce here in Calchaquí Valley only 2.5% of all Argentinian wines, very little quantity, but very important in the moment of when we see the quality of the wine, when we see the quantity of the wine that we export. Maybe it is possible here obtain a very high quality grape and wines. We have the characteristic, the main characteristic is we have one of the highest vineyards in the world. I speak about 1,700 or between 1,700 meters above sea level to 2,000 meters above sea level in Chañar Punco. Chañar Punco is more in the mountain more near of the mountain with a different terroir. Something more, I speak about we have between Quilmes Mountain and Aconquija Mountain, and this mountain give us a special condition. This geographic condition give us exclusive and special condition and terroir to produce grape. You know, from the grapes, we obtain the wines, and this is the most important. In this moment, we finished the harvest 2000, or we are in the harvest 2021, and we all the time we are in the terroir. All the time we are tasting the grape. This is the important, the grape to obtain the wines. The characteristic, this high altitude, give us many sunny days, good solar radiation. The result here is that we obtain a great color in our wines, very good and great color, a very good maturity in the grapes, and we obtain a good quantity of polyphenol and good quantity of anthocyanins, and in our wines, very good color and concentration. The soil is a poor, sandy, and rocky mineral soils. This is good condition to obtain in our wines very good flavor, mineral flavor with fresh sensation. Low temperature, the high altitude in our valley give us very low temperature. This is important. Sergio speak about that. The low temperature during the night give us fresh aromas, fresh flavor in our wines, fruity and spicy aromas in our wines. It's very important that's low temperature during the night, and we have very good sunny days during the days, and this is important too. In general, all the days we obtain a lot of windy days. This is good too. The windy days give us low humidity. Okay, and we have low precipitation too. This is a desert weather. These two mountains stop all the cloudy, stop in the mountain, raining in the mountain, but in the valley, nothing. Here in the valley, we receive only less than 200 millimeter per year of water, of rain. Is nothing, it's a desert. This is another characteristic. Okay, what happened with us? Less humidity, the windy days, the very good the very good sunny days during the year. We obtain healthy grape and we obtain very healthy wines. This is very important. We obtain very good maturation in our grapes and in our wines. Okay, I open in this moment we speak about the Don David Malbec blend of terroir. Okay, I show here another picture, sorry. Next picture, please. Okay, this is traditional. It's very good, this picture. This is the traditional, the previous, please. Sorry. This is the traditional system, very old system to produce grape. This is this system called parral or pergola system. Some part of this Malbec came from this traditional pergola system, and we obtain different flavor and different sensation in our wines that we pick in this grape from pergola system. It's very old, more than the 70-year-old this vineyard. It's very traditional. And see the soil, sandy soil, desert weather. We need irrigated our vineyard. We're using pure water from the mountain, from this melting water from the mountain, and it's necessary to grow in the vineyard. Next, please. Okay, our hotel. We have one hotel near the winery. We're waiting here to relax and spend some day when the COVID problem is possible. Next, please. Okay, this is very important. These pictures are very, very important. To produce wines in our winery, of course, during all the time, and I started with that condition. I started here in the winery in the first time with the chief of quality control of the winery. With the year, I changed my rule, and nowadays I am the chief winemaker. But for me, the quality control in all the process of the winery is very, very important. And we have different quality certification. We have BRC, we have organic wine, we have Fair for Life, but one of the most important, we have fair trade. And this Malbec, we are certificated with fair trade certification. And this is very, very good for the people, for all the people, for all the I don't know, the circle to close the circle of the people. We planted the vineyard, we produce the grape, we healthy the grape, we pick in the grape, we harvest, yes, we produce the wines, we put the wine in the bottle, and we send the wine to UK in this case. We obtain money, and after that, we receive some recompensation of all this work. And it's very good, this certification fair trade. It's very good. And in this picture, we have here in the winery, a committee is the name, the committee. We have a committee made up of workers of the winery. Maybe around, I remember, around 15 different working from different part of the winery. Some worker from the vineyard, another from the production line, the bottle production, another worker from the winery, some people from the administration part, and that working formed the program of the fair trade. They decide what do with the money received, with the prices, and this is important. In this picture, you see, in that moment, we building a sport playground for boys and young people in Chañar Punco. That is very important. I speak about that. In Chañar Punco live less than the 800 people, and the winery working in a special sport playground to give to the community some, I don't know, to play basketball, volleyball, I don't know, different to the children, different thing, sports thing for to the children. It's very good. We working too in another thing, for example, program, for example, with the price of the fair trade. We working with the training teacher. We contract training teacher to important job, for example, to training to the people, to builders, electrician, plomeros, plumbing, and another thing, for example, some school kit. We buy a school kit to the children of our workers, and it's very, very good certification fair trade. Okay, next please, and maybe we started with the wine now. This is the picture of the winery. It's a very old winery, founded in 1892 by by Don David. Don David means Mr. David, our founder, Don David Michel, French immigrant. He started with this idea here in that isolated place. Okay, and Malbec means 50% Malbec from our vineyard in Chañar Punco and 50% of our Malbec in our vineyards in Cafayate. We produce the grapes in both winery with similar making. We harvest the grape using both style. We harvest the grape using machine, automatic machine harvest, and pick by hand too. In different time too, because I selected to produce this wine different flavor in the grape. Some part is a little more fresh with a less sugar concentration, and another part more maturity in different time to obtain different flavor, different sensation is important. Harvest in Chañar Punco, we fermented in stainless steel tank, and here in Cafayate, fermented in concrete pool, concrete painting with epoxy, some painting with epoxy, another part without epoxy. After alcoholic fermentation, we produce the blend, and aging the blend. We blended both wineries, yes, here in Cafayate, and aging during 12 months underground in underground pools. This is very good. Put the wine during 12 months in underground pools to working with the lees, to working with the waiting. Then appear the flavor, appear relaxing the acidity, working with the lees, with sur lees, and it's very good. After 12 months, in never moment I speak about oak. We didn't use oak here in this wine to produce this wine. And the idea is show the real flavor of the Malbec sensation. And after 12 months, we put in the bottle and start to sell the wines. And okay, the tasting is possible for you tasting the wine. The Malbec, I enjoy the Malbec. The color is beautiful. It's violet color. Sometimes from Calchaquí Valley, sometimes the color is black in the middle of the glass. Yes, it's impossible to see another part of the glass. It's black concentration with violet concentration. In the nose is the aromas. It's red, fruity, powerful. This is the characteristic of Calchaquí Valley. Powerful, fruity, ripe plums. But combination, sometimes I speak with Sergio about that. Sometimes we feel in our Malbec some spicy flowers or basil flavor, and that is the difference between this Malbec and the Mendoza Malbec. There appear this spicy note, not traditionally in some Malbec, but give us more or different characteristic. And in the mouth, for me, I speak is medium body, because we produce some wine with a little more body, but it's full body. Yes, for me it's medium because I all the time tasting, I don't know, El Esteco Malbec is a high concentration, Finca Notables Malbec is more concentrated than that. Then my idea is obtain a medium body, medium full body, sweet sensation, ripe fruit, sweet tannins, and I drink the wine, and the wine is in the mouth. It's a very long caudalías. I don't know the name. A lot of time in the mouth. It's long wines. Okay, this is Don David blend of terroir Malbec. In my cases, I don't know which is the harvest in UK, but here I have the 2019. It's a very good harvest. This is another characteristic of Calchaquí Valley. It's very good weather here, very good. We don't have problem with the weather. We manage the vineyard without the problem. And then we have a lot of consistency year by year in our harvest. This is very good characteristic of Calchaquí Valley. Okay, enjoy the Malbec. Thank you very much for the time. We're waiting here in Calchaquí Valley sometime, I don't know.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Alejandro. I think you will have lots of visitors now.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. That was amazing. I really wish I had a bottle of wine with me right now. And it's been amazing to also see just how many questions have been coming through as well. So I'm going to start going through the questions. But Rebecca Farr, I've seen that you've had your hand up a while. So we're going to start off with you. I'm going to ask you to unmute your microphone. It should pop up on your screen now. And then you can ask your question. Once you have asked your question, I will mute you after it, just so we can get through more questions. Sometimes we could have like conversations going back and forward for a little bit, and it could take a bit more time. So I'm sorry, once you've asked your question, I will be muting you again. So after saying that, I've just realized that you don't have a microphone. So Jane May, I'm coming to you first. I'm going to ask you to unmute. So that should be on your screen now.
I think you
Yeah.
have Hola, hello, good evening, everybody. My question to Hola, ¿qué tal? Me gusta tocar el violín. I like to play the violin. Yeah, totally irrelevant. But my question to you both is actually, what is your biggest threat to the grape? Is it the infrastructure in terms of the irrigation? You know, the whole setup. Really, what is the biggest threat to the grape?
Did you understand that, guys? It's sort of la amenaza más grande, o el problema más grande que tenéis cuando estáis controlando y trabajando con Malbec.
Well, the big problem that we have during our harvest time, normally here in Mendoza, we receive the rainfall or the big storm at the end of the February, when the grapes start to mature, the maturation. Okay, in this time normally we have the big storm that sometimes we receive the hills, piedra, hills, Martin, and we
Hail.
Sorry, hails, and this is the big enemy in our region, because for this reason, in our special vineyard, we have all the protection for the hail. This is the big problem in all the region here in Argentina.
Here we don't have, normally we don't have problem with the weather. The only we need put a lot of attention with the maturity of the grape. We have a lot of sunny days. Then if we have a lot of sunny days, sometimes the maturity is a little fast. Then we need walk around the vineyard all the time and take the correct moment to harvest the grape, to avoid the over maturity of the grape. We need to show the people fresh wine, beautiful color, fresh, better acidity in the mouth. And we need harvest in the good moment. With a lot of sunny day, if I sleep in my house and not harvest the grape, we obtain over maturity Malbec and they concentrate a lot of alcohol and sometimes liquor sensation in the mouth, and we don't like this liquor sensation or a lot of yummy sensation. Pesado, heavy Malbec. No, we looking for opposite, fresh, very good acidity, jam Malbec. And then for us, the problem is the sunny, a lot of sunny day. We need all the time. We need attention with the weather, with this condition.
Cheers, thank you. Okay, the next question is from Michelle McLaughlin-Hay, who says, thank you. I would like to know what kind of soil the grapes grow in, like what geology. I am from South Africa, and the best wines there often grow in rocky regions like Malbec West. So what's the soil like where you grow the grapes?
Me first?
Yeah, let's go Alejandro first.
Okay, we have two different soils, yes, two different soils. In Chañar Punco, 2,000 meters above sea level. Imagine here is in the mountain, yes, it's very near to the mountain. It's a rocky soils with more than the 70% of rocky soil, with a lot of calcareous sensation, with a lot of calcium carbonate, this part. And here in Cafayate, we have our Malbec in Cafayate in the traditional and pergola system, more in the valley, 1,700 meters above sea level, more sandy, more poor and sandy soil. Mixing both Malbec in this Don David blended terroir. Some in rocky soil is more hard more chalky sensation. And here in Cafayate, more elegant in the nose, more sweet sensation in the mouth. And here we obtain the combination.
So, hand you on to Sergio?
Yes, yeah. Here in the case of Mendoza, in the Uco Valley, we have in the top part of the Uco Valley, more than 1,400 meters of the level. We have a lot of gravel soil. There are different percentage of the calcium carbonate or the chalky character. All this type of soil give us normally more minerality character in the nose, and in the middle of the palate more vibrant, more electrical sensation. And when you go to the going down of the valley, more near to the Tupungato river, Tupungato department, there are more clay soil. This clay soil give me in the case of the Malbec, give me more black fruity, and the tannin is very, very velvety, very, very sweet tannin, and very easy to drink. It's complete opposite of the high part of the Uco Valley. In general, we have in our place, in our Uco Valley, we have the mix between gravel, sandy, calcium carbonate, and in the bottom part of the valley, we have more clay soil.
Thanks, Sergio. Okay, Paul has asked the next question. Sergio mentioned harvesting by hand. Has the pandemic affected your ability to harvest? That'll be a question for both of you as well. So, Sergio, if you want to take that one first.
Yes, the harvest, when the is to pick, in my case, normally our work, we walk around all the vineyard. We need to taste the grape, okay? And immediately we decide, when we obtain the good fresh acidity and the mix between sugar and acidity of the grapes, when you taste it, we decide the picking time, and of course the harvest for us, for this time of wine, it's very important. The harvest is by hand. That's very, because you need to cut the grape, the cluster, and put into the small plastic box or small bins for transport the grapes or to the winery, because for us it's very important the fruity, the grapes, the cluster. Okay, we need to immediately, when you cut the cluster, immediately go to the winery for the start to process. For us, it's very, very important, this logistic time.
Thanks, Sergio. How about you, Ali?
The question is.
The question was about, has the pandemic, COVID-19, has it? Where is it? Has it affected your ability to harvest?
Martín, ¿me ayudas? ¿O Sara?
Está preguntando si tenéis una falta de trabajadores a causa de COVID-19, si es más difícil en este momento con la cosecha.
We don't have a problem with the people for the moment. We harvest correctly. We don't have the problem. We put a lot of special condition pusimos muchos protocolos para cuidar la salud de la gente, la separación.
So they have a lot of protocols in place to keep people separate and manage the situation at the moment, now that they're harvesting with COVID.
We don't have a problem. We obtain the people. We working with 100 people here in Cafayate and 100 people picking the grapes in Chañarpunco, and without a problem. But we have the problem because each province here, Cafayate is Salta province and Chañar Punco is Catamarca province, and the government between both provinces thinking different. Then in some time close the limit, and it was impossible to cross the limit between two provinces in the same Argentina. Then sometime we arrived to the limit between Salta and Cafayate and stop. No, it's impossible pass, impossible pass. Okay, we speak, and we working with sending sample between the winery, tasting here the wine from Chañar Punco. Was complex harvest, very complicated harvest. 1920 more than the 1921. And nowadays we finish the harvest, this week finish the harvest without problem. We are very happy with that.
Yes, the same here in Mendoza. Here in Mendoza we have more or less the same preoccupation. I don't know if it's okay this word. Normally here, all the workers that pick up the grapes by hands are coming from the north of our country, and this year we can receive all these workers. Well, of course, in all the winery, all the vineyards, we have a lot of protocol. We try to we work in cellulars. How to say the term in English?
In different teams.
Different teams, special different teams that separate exactly. Thank you. Well, we have in some special team, a special group. Maybe we have some problem with okay, all this team go to the house in 10 days and was immediately reemplazar for other team. Well, this was the particular this year. Well, we are very happy in terms of the technical point of view because we have the good picking time and we have good management of this problem, no?
Thank you.
Yes, thanks. Okay, so Linda Tiplady, I'm going to ask you to unmute now so you can ask your question. So that should pop up on your screen about now.
Hello. I've never heard of concrete tanks being used before, and I was wondering how long you've been doing that, and how did you find out that concrete was safe to use to do it?
Well, thank you, Linda. In our winery, for example, in our winery in Trapiche, the winery was built in 1912. Imagine, in this time, we in Argentina we have concrete bath. Now we recycle it, but and it's very beautiful to make wine in this special recipe. No? Of course, in maybe 10 years ago we start to buy the stainless steel tank, of course, and now we are beautiful winery is the mix between this concrete bath and stainless steel tank. But the concrete bath is very interesting for me to make to elaborate the red wine because in the technical point of view we had better management of the temperature, okay, because the work is more or less 30 centimeters, and we have very good how do you say in English, inertia thermica.
Yeah, temperature control.
Thank you, temperature control. well, and after the alcoholic fermentation, I like to use this concrete vat to aging process the aging over the lees, over the small lees of the typical of the East wine, and this lees give us very sweet and middle palate and more good sensation, more sweet sensation. It's okay. I understood the question.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think we have quite a few more questions. Some people are, is it Joe asking which region makes the best Malbec? And I don't think, I think you guys will have to have an arm wrestle over that one. But one of the interesting questions that came up before is the difference between Argentinian Malbec and Malbec from Chile. So perhaps you could talk a little bit about that.
No, well, you know the Malbec, the Malbec is the original Malbecs are coming from Cahors in France. Okay, after this, we received the Malbec with our immigrants, put the plants in our place, and of course with the condition, the weather condition is very important for the Malbec. The Malbec like the sunny day, the low humidity, good temperature, and the Chilean region. Of course, they have Malbec too, but they don't have the same weather that we have in Argentina, because in Chilean sector they receive more humidity of the Pacific Ocean, and for this reason, they have a little more green character. They don't have today good maduration of the vine. Like here in Mendoza, we have very nice maduration. For this reason, the quality of the tannin, the middle of the palate is completely different. It's more easy to drink the Argentine Malbec.
Brilliant. Cheers, guys. Okay, I'm just conscious that we are coming up to 8 o'clock. So we'll have a couple more questions and we'll do the prize draw. And then we might hang around for another 5, maybe 10 minutes if people are okay, just to, if you want to stay past 8 o'clock. We won't go much longer, but just want to get through as many questions as possible. So Richard, I know that you've had your hand up for a while, so I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can ask your question. That should be on your screen now. There you go. We can hear you, Richard.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Okay, sorry. You talked a little bit about weather conditions and how that was important to the grape. Given that now science in general is saying we definitely have climate change, there's going to be more rain, there's going to be hotter summers, is the forecast. Is this positive for the Malbec grape, or is it a problem?
Help me.
Sorry, yeah.
Sarah? Sarah, help me with the question.
El cambio climático, si es un problema o no.
In general, the weather changing, for the moment, it isn't the problem. Only we need to stay with a lot of attention. I speak about that in the moment of the harvest. Some years, for example, the year 2018, 2019, in our cases, we harvest 15 days before the normal. Yes, is the maduration is before. We need to stay with a lot of attention earlier. But what happened now in this year is opposite. This year, 2021, the maduration was slowly, very slowly. We harvest 15 years after the normal day. But I don't know if changing weather or not, but for the moment, only stay with a lot of attention with the maduration of the grape. No, we don't have another problem. Only stay attention, but no the problem for the moment here in Calchaquí Valley.
Brilliant, thank you.
Sergio? No.
Well, no, it's the same. I agree with Ale. I think normally in Argentina we have the people or the IT department start to ID department start to register the temperature, the average temperature of the different valley, different vineyards, and really we don't have problem with the change of the climate. In general, in terms of the quantity of the how to say nieve, no, snow. In terms of the quantity of snow of the fall in our Andes mountain, this is the most important thing for us. Every year we have the different quantity of snow, because this snow is the water that we receive for irrigation of our grapes, no? But well, since last 25 years old, is 1 year we receive a lot of snow, other year we receive less. Well, it's more or less it's the same quantity of the snow, but of course the water is we think in the future will be the problem. We will have the problem with in the future with the water. For this reason, all the new plantation, all our vineyards, we put the drip irrigation, because we consider that the drip irrigation is we can get better management of the quantity of the water, and this management increase the possibility to put more hectare of Malbec in the future.
Awesome, great, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
So I've just been doing the prize draw at the side now. So we'll go through the 8 winners for the magnums of the Don David, and then Chris Walker, and Stephen and Emma. Your 3 hands are up, so we'll come to your questions in a few minutes if that's okay. So I'm going to go through the list of winners that we've got, and hopefully you're still on the call. So the first one we have is Bethan Williams. So Bethan Williams, yep, Beth is on the call. So Claire, my colleague, will just send you a quick message now to grab your email address so we can get in touch with you about getting the wine to you. She'll be emailing you tomorrow. But yeah, we need to get your email address now. This is the same for everyone. So the next one is Bob Harwood. Bob, brilliant, you are there as well. Claire will be messaging you shortly. If you are one of the winners that has been called out, if you just stay on the call until we make sure we've spoken to you before you go, that'd be really helpful. The next one is Catherine Sullivan. Catherine Sullivan, yeah, you're still here as well. Awesome. Well done, Catherine. Claire will be in touch in a sec. The fourth one is Claire Hunt. Claire Hunt. Yay, Claire, you're still on the call as well. This is good. 4 for 4. Next winner is Damien Gilmartin. Damien, yay, you're on the call. Congratulations. Heather McGeorge. Heather McGeorge, yeah, you're on the call, so amazing. Congratulations. Paula Goodale. Paula Goodale, yeah, you're there as well. Amazing. And then the last winner is Val Lawton. Val Lawton, brilliant. Val's also on the call. So well done. If I've just called out your name, just to recap, I'll run them through quickly. We've got Bethan Williams, Bob Harwood, Catherine Sullivan, Claire Hunt, Damien Gilmartin, Heather McGeorge, Paula Goodale, and Val Lawton. Congratulations. Stay on the call. Claire will message, drop you a message to make sure we've got your details and everything. And now I'm just going to jump back to the Q&A. Obviously it's 8 o'clock now, so if you do need to leave the call, that is fine. But we will start just going to a few more questions before we finish. I hope that's okay if you do want to stick around. Chris, not Chris Walker, Chris, I've seen your hand up for the longest, so I'm going to ask you to unmute now so you can ask your question.
How do I do that?
Oh, I've done it. There we go. You can hear you. Sorry.
Fine. As a committed Cab Sauv and Shiraz drinker, how can you persuade me to change over to Malbec?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm not very adventurous.
Don't know, Sarah, you want to maybe take the beginning of that one?
Martín.
Dice, ella es fanática del Cabernet Sauvignon y del Syrah y es muy comprometida con estas variedades. ¿Cómo la convencerías para que empiece a tomar Malbec?
Bueno. It's easy.
Great.
Easy. Yes. No, it's easy because Cabernet Sauvignon is the queen of the red varietals. Is a big potential. Is the king. Is a big potential in the mouth. Is powerful. Is concentrated. Syrah is more sweet. It's more elegant and more soft tannins. For me, Malbec is in the middle. Yes. Then for you, it's easy. Only need enjoy some beautiful steak and open the bottle of Malbec a little with good temperature and enjoy this fruity sensation, the flavor, maturity flavor, sweet in the mouth, long wine, good acidity. It's easy for you. Malbec is when you know Malbec, you started in the world of different sensation. Because in Argentina we produce different style without oak, with oak, fermented in concrete, from the very old vineyards. We have different style of Malbec, easy to drink, more heavy in the mouth. We produce different style, and it's possible obtain really very good quality for the price than you buy the bottle of wine. This relation is very good. Enjoy next time. Gracias.
Yes, of course. In terms of the aroma, the Cabernet Sauvignon is the king of the varietal. Normally, the expression of the aroma is more herbaceous, more spicy, more red pepper, depending on the place. And in the case of the Syrah, normally has very good middle palate, and in the term of the aroma, it's more licorice, spicy. Of course, in the Malbec, it has a lot of very clear red fruit, like the plum, like the cherry. It's very, very, very fruity character and the beautiful velvety tannin. It's very, very easy to drink. Maybe the Malbec you can enjoy with some special meat, or why not? In this, for example, in this case, in this seminar of the Malbec World Day, when the people start to speak about the wines or whatever. No, it's not necessary to eat something because it's very enjoyable wines. For me, this is my expression. I hope that I convince that you change the Syrah and Cabernet with the Malbec.
Cheers, Sergio. Stephen and Emma, I'm coming to you next. Okay, we should be able to hear you. Oh,
yeah, okay.
There we go. We can hear you.
Yeah, hi. Hola. First of all, gentlemen, thank you. Your English has been superb. Thank you for your presentation today. I noticed with both of these wines, we've opened them and then we've started to drink them. But as we've gone on, perhaps 30 minutes later, they take on a different taste. The pure becomes more velvety. The Don David becomes more sweet. So how long should we allow once we've opened these before we drink them?
Of course, always imagine when in this case I have the 2020 vintage. I don't know what vintage do you have.
2020.
2022, but maybe this wine was elaborated last year. We put into the bottle maybe in July, August. Okay. Always in all type of wine, when you put the wine into the bottle, it's like the capsule. Okay, without oxygen, it's very beautiful condition for bottling, for traveling and other part of the world. When you open the wines, the wine start to how to say respirar, start to
breathe, to breathe.
To breathe oxygen and start to reaccommodation of all the molecules of the flavor of the tannin. And for this reason, it's very interesting. After maybe 30 minutes after the bottle, you can feel complete different aroma and the sensation, the tannin sensation. Where if you compare with you taste it immediately, we open the bottle. Always the wine improve a lot with the step by step when we open each bottle.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Cheers, thanks, Stephen. I'm sure you've asked questions at previous events as well. Awesome. Okay, so for our last question, I'm going to come on to Chris Walker in a second. If you have asked, well, I know that a lot of people have asked questions that we've not got round to. There is an email going out in a few minutes, which will have our email address on. So if you do want to ask, if you do want to send your question to us, we will try and get it answered following the event. But for now, Chris Walker, the final question, I'm going to ask you to unmute now. Oh, there we go. It's just unmuted you. Hi, Chris.
Yes, thank you. Before my question, I'd just like to say I wish Co-op did haircuts.
Like me.
For Sergio and Ali, thank you very, very much. Very interesting. I've noticed with both of your bottles, they're quite heavier than the average bottle. Is that purely for export reasons or what?
Marketing decision, my friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
There aren't some technical decision. It's maybe we started to understand that question. Maybe we understand start to understand we need using less weight in the glass in our bottle. For example, in Canada, it's necessary send another style of the bottle, less heavy. We are agree, but the decision, the marketing decision, changing slowly, no too far. Maybe in some year we change the bottle and send less quantity of the glass. And the same quality of the wine. The most important is the wine, but the heavy, the weight, no, sorry, el peso de la botella.
The weight of water.
The weight of the bottle.
The weight of the bottle no tiene nada que ver.
Has nothing to do with it. I think
with the quality of the wine.
To add to what Alejandro is saying, it is an important question, and it is something that we've been looking at recently. And we did do a member survey actually of how much is important to you, the weight of the bottle and the size, because I recognise that for a lot of people, a heavier bottle might make them think that it's a better quality wine. And I think it's something very common, like you say, in Argentinian wines. But we are gradually reducing the weight of glass where we can, and it will be a longer term change that you'll start to see more and more with wines that we sell at Co-op, that it's something that we're actively trying to reduce that with carbon footprint in mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem to me. You know, I don't mind it being heavy. I mean, this is an empty one and it's still heavy. But yeah, I was just interested in the reasons. But yeah, thank you very much for the answers.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Cheers. Brilliant. Well, thank you everyone for attending today and for staying on past their time as well. I think we overrun on nearly every one of these, so we may need to start just making them a little bit longer going forward. But I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I certainly have. I feel like I've learnt loads about Malbec. I'm very excited about Malbec World Day on Saturday. I will be raising a glass of each of these wines in celebration. We don't have any more events scheduled in as of this point. We are looking to do some more events. So on the email that will be coming out shortly, there is a feedback form in there as well. So we're asking for any suggestions that you might have on any wines that you might want to see events that are like this, or if there's any other kind of products, or just to tell us how you're finding these events. If there's ways that we can improve them and do them better, we'd really like to hear from you. So that email will be coming out, and I think it's about 8:20 that that'll be being sent to you. I'll also have the link as well where you can go and visit our online shop to buy these wines and have them delivered. Or if they can't have them delivered, it will show you where your nearest store is, where you can go and pick them up yourselves as well. And like I said, it'll also have our email address on if you do want any follow-up questions sending on. But yes, so that just leaves me to say thank you. And if anybody like Sarah or anyone has anything to sign off with, now's your chance. Oh, and sorry, and winners, please stay on until we've spoken to you and we've got your details. We'll let you know when you can go. Brill. So yeah.
And just a big thank you to Sergio and Alejandro. I know you're in the middle of harvest, for giving us your time. Hopefully everybody that's joined us has an even better appreciation of Malbec and the people behind the wines. I think it's fantastic to be able to meet them even like this virtually. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Muchas gracias.
I enjoy this time in the middle of the harvest time. For us, it's very interesting to keep in touch with you in other part of the world. Thank you very much. And cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the day. Salud. Muchas gracias por todo.
Salud.
Salud.
Refill again my glass.
What I will do as well is, if you are a winner, but we are having trouble speaking to you, I've just popped an email address in the chat, which is joinin@coop.co.uk. If we don't manage to get sorted with you now on this call, you can always email us on this email address. Just let us know who you are, and then we can get in touch about getting the wine to you. We do know who the 8 winners are, so if you aren't a winner and you do email, we will know. Brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Zoom chat open for a couple of minutes in case anybody does want to scroll up and get anything from the chat that you might need. We have been sharing some links and some information about the wine. So if there is anything that you wanted to save, now's your chance to scroll up and try and find it. And I will close the Zoom call about 8:16. The call will still be open until then, but we'll just be sat here quietly. But yeah, thanks again everyone for coming, and we'll hope to see you at a future event.